This year, women's sports are expected to exceed $2.35 billion. I said billion, and yet the number of women who own sports teams is very low.
One woman who is working to change that is here today.
Chantell Preston. Yeah, she's a serial entrepreneur, investor, and now co-founder of the League One volleyball professional team in San Francisco. And she's here. Without any further ado.
It's like magic.
We were talking about you for so long, right in front of your face, but we had a lot to say about you.
I appreciate that.
And about the state of affairs. Okay, so we're talking about women's sports. What makes you qualified to talk about women's sports?
Well, I'm not sure that I'm the best to be qualified to talk about it, but I will tell you, I'm very excited about what's happening in women's sports. So I decided to jump in head first. I want to start changing the narrative. I want to make women's ownership the norm, not the exception. So my business partner and I decided to purchase the San Francisco League One volleyball team. We opened the door. We brought a lot of women with us. And we think it's important to be a women's league that we have women owning it.
Why do you think it's finally catching fire? Women's sports is finally gaining momentum at this point.
Well, I think there's a lot of reasons behind that. I think Caitlin Clark is one of them. I think that people are starting to realize the excitement with sports, especially with women. And so you see all this momentum, viewership's increasing, sponsorships. We make 80% of the decisions in the household. Sponsors are starting to realize that. So who shows up to those is women coming to the women's sports. So I think that there's a lot of movement in that direction.
It's funny because my kids are 8 and 10 and we prefer to watch women's basketball in our house. Like we enjoy.
It's fun, right?
It's one of those things. It is. I find it to be more fun.
It's exciting. I mean, there's a lot of movement, a lot of energy, and that's what we want to continue to do.
Love it.
What is your sport of choice? Were you an athlete? Are you an athlete? Did you give birth to athletes?
You know, I was an athlete wannabe, let's just say that. I played softball. I loved it. I've coached my daughter's softball team for the last 10 years. However, we can't choose what our children do. So again, I love what sports does. I love what sports does for girls, for boys. Teaches life skills that we utilize for the rest of our lives. Leadership, confidence, all those things that we want to instill. I think sports is an important aspect to that.
I do too, and we both have 2 boys. Our boys both play sports, and I think it makes them well-rounded, but also as the parents of boys, we recognize like they need to be part of the conversation as we grow women's sports.
Absolutely.
What do you think needs to happen aside from women investing in women's sports? What else needs to happen? Because if it were that easy, it would have been done years ago.
Sure. I think that everyone needs to realize that women can provide that same excitement, that same level of play as men can. And I think you see that with the boys. You see boys trying to hit the 3-pointers from mid, just like Caitlin Clark did. I think the narrative is changing, and I'm excited to see it. And I think as we continue to promote women's sports, and we see more on TV and through the media, I think it's going to change the perception that, oh, it's just women's sports. No, it's women's sports, and we're just as excited about it as men's.
I wonder how far we are from little boys wearing the jerseys of women.
It's already happening.
Oh, it's happening.
Yeah.
That's great. See, that
I guarantee there'll be a lot in San Francisco wearing volleyball shirts, you know, jerseys, because we're not just looking for the women. We want this to be for everyone. We want it to be for all families. Yeah. We just want women to own it.
I think to your point about when you see everyone wearing the Caitlin Clark jersey or the Brandy Chastain, pun intended, she's an investor in Love Volleyball. I think that's a real shift in what's happening. Can you talk to us about how we grow women's sports? Because again, we're still lagging behind. Like, I think for my generation and my brother's generation, the sport arrived and the fans were like, oh, we can watch something.
Right.
It's the opposite. The sports have been around for a while and the fans are like, we want more. Yeah. It just doesn't exist.
I think you're seeing a lot of that transition happening because there's more availability of being able to watch sports, whether it's national media, whether it's streaming. There's a lot of different platforms now where people can go to find the sports where it used to not be that easily available to view. Yeah. So I think as we continue that process, I think it's going to really help educate people on what's happening, what's available out there.
Yeah.
You hate to think of this as a priority, but it is, and it's about equal respect as well as the pay disparity as well. When do you think that will level out? Do you think that will ever level out with men's sports?
Oh gosh, Ben, you're asking a big question. You know, I hope it does, and I mean, we're really trying hard to get to that point. And I think as you look at sponsorships, media deals, I think we're slowly getting there. we're getting the attention, and I'm hoping that within my lifetime, I hope we're going to make a huge impact in that.
Again, like, you don't want to focus on it because it's like it's about the game itself, but it is about respect.
Also,
it's about saying like we are level, we are equal together.
Well, and I'll say with League One Volleyball, that's one of the reasons I got involved, because they are very respectful towards their player-centered. They take care of the athletes, and that's important. They provide the same values that I live by, and that was important for me. I can't say everyone does that, but I'm hoping at some point they will.
I hope so too.
I hope so, three. We'd be remiss if we didn't ask you to weigh in on the recent turn of events with the U.S. men's hockey team and all of that. What was your take on what transpired and what it means for the future? I
think it's very disappointing. I think it's a pattern of that, you mentioned earlier, casual disrespect of women. It's very unfortunate. And it's very unfortunate that now we're talking about that versus the amazing success that the women's Olympic hockey team had. And so it's a disappointing. I'm hoping it does change. I'm optimistic, and I think there's enough of us out there that are trying to change that narrative that we won't see that in the future.
I love it. I love it. This league, the Premier League, is in 2027.
We will start. So they're already in league right now. Second season is going on right now. San Francisco, we're one of the expansion teams. We'll be starting in 2027. Super excited. But again, a lot of people don't even realize we're out there. Check out the markets that we're currently in. The games are amazing. They're high energy, and these athletes are just phenomenal to watch.
Fantastic.
I'll be there in person. I'm moving to San Francisco. I'm actually moving to Sausalito.
That'd be great. Come on.
Sausalito.
He's going to be
that's what it is.
the seventh woman off bench.
I'll be off bench.
We'll let you sit on the bench
great
with us.
water person.
I love it.
Whatever you need. Thank you so much for being here.
Chantell, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
And congratulations. Truly. Follow her on Instagram. She's more than just the sports person. Chantell _Preston. Fantastic.